Most people in the UK think a salary is the safe path to wealth. You do the work, you pay the tax, you save what's left. And on paper, that sounds sensible. The problem is, in 2026, what's left keeps shrinking, even for people doing everything right. Costs rise, thresholds stay frozen, and the gap between earning well and building wealth keeps wider. This isn't about bad habits. It's not about skipping coffee or budgeting harder. It's about a system that quietly rewards certain behaviors and penalizes others without ever explaining the difference. Warren Buffett has warned about this for decades, not because he thinks everyone should invest like him, but because he understands how systems quietly reward patience and punish defaults. If you earn a salary but feel like you're running on a treadmill, stay with me, because the mistake isn't where most people think it is. Rule 1. The Asset-First Payday system. There's a specific type of financial pain nobody talks about. It's earning a good salary, paying the mortgage, and realizing you're still one bad month away from trouble. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken. You're just running the wrong system. Most UK workers run a bills-first system without realizing it. Salary lands, direct debits leave, life happens, and then you try to save whatever is left, which is usually a strong intention and about £10 left in the account. That's not a wealth plan. That's survival with admin. Buffett's rule here is simple. Do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. Asset first means payday is a routing event, not a spending event. On payday, your money should do 3 things in this order. Pay your future self, protect your basics, then fund your lifestyle. Because once your full salary is sitting in your current account, it doesn't feel like future money. It feels like available money. And available money gets negotiated with. It turns into I'll start next month, or it turns into subscriptions that never gets cancelled. The power of this rule isn't discipline. It's removing the need for discipline. If wealth building only happens when you're motivated, rested, and not stressed, it won't happen. But if it happens automatically the day you get paid, it outlives your moods. Here's a practical example. If you always save at the end of the month, your savings compete with your mood, your social life, your unexpected expenses, and your stress. If you save at the start, your lifestyle adapts to what's left, and you stop having to fight yourself. For higher rate taxpayers, the strongest version of this rule is salary sacrifice. To put £100 into your pension from take-home pay, you might need to earn about £166. With salary sacrifice, your take-home pay might only fall by about £58. You're buying £100 of future wealth for £58 today. That's not clever investing, that's system design. But Rule 1 only works if you solve the interest trap in Rule 2. Rule 2. Mortgage neutrality. Let's talk about the biggest liability most UK workers will ever carry, the mortgage. For years, the advice was simple. Don't overpay, invest instead. That worked when mortgage rates were close to zero. In 2026, the maths is no longer that forgiving. Overpaying your mortgage gives you a guaranteed tax-free return equal to your mortgage rate. A 4.5% mortgage overpayment is not beaten by a 4.6% savings account. Because once tax is involved, a high-rate taxpayer would actually need a savings rate close to 7.5% to beat the mortgage overpayment. Those don't exist in any normal bank account. Mortgage neutrality means removing emotion from the decision. Stop asking, should I overpay or invest? Like it's a personality test. Instead, ask, which option gives me the better guaranteed return right now? Let's look at the real cost. On a £200,000 mortgage at 4.5% with 25 years left, you will pay roughly £133,000 in interest alone. If you overpay just £100 a month, you don't just save £100, you save over £26,000 in interest and clear the mortgage 4 years early. That is the power of a tax-free guaranteed return. So the rule is simple. If your mortgage rate is higher than your after-tax savings rate, then overpay. If it's lower, then invest. Don't overthink it. Just run the calculation once a year. Buffett has a line that I keep coming back to. You only find out who's swimming naked when the tide goes out. Low interest rates were the tide. Now they're gone and the systems are being exposed. Quick pause. The next rule you're about to discover surprises a lot of people. It doesn't live in your bank account, but over a lifetime, it's often worth more than every investment you'll ever make. Rule 3. The Quarterly Skills Audit. This is the rule most people skip because it doesn't feel like personal finance. Your salary isn't an identity, it's an asset. And assets that aren't maintained depreciate. In 2026, rules are being reshaped by automation and AI. Not always replaced, often just squeezed. The same job title, more output expected, while pay lags behind. The biggest financial leap most people ever experience isn't market returns. It's the jump between pay bands. A quarterly skills audit is you treating your earning power like an investment account. You review it, you check what's performing, you identify what would increase the return. So, once a quarter, ask yourself, what skills are being rewarded in my industry right now? What do people 2 levels above me have that I don't? What a single upgrade would justify a pay rise, a promotion, or a role change? Then pick one upgrade. Just one. Non-reinvention of your life, just one targeted improvement you can actually finish. This isn't self-help, it's leverage. Buffett calls this widening your moat. Your skills are the only asset inflation cannot take away from you. A £10,000 salary increase compounds far faster than most people's savings ever will, because it increases the fuel you can route into Rule 1 for the rest of your career. Quick pause for a second. If this is already making you uncomfortable, that's the point of this channel. I don't do motivation, hype, or shortcuts. I break down how money actually works for UK workers, especially when the sensible advice quietly backfires. So if you want more videos like this, subscribe. Let's keep going. Rule 4. The 48-hour spending filter. Lifestyle inflation isn't reckless spending. It's spending expanding quietly to fill income. Subscriptions, convenience, I deserve this purchases that are individually reasonable but collectively expensive. The 48-hour spending filter creates friction where emotion usually wins. If a non-essential purchase crosses your threshold, you wait 48 hours. Not to punish yourself, but to let the dopamine fade. Most impulses don't survive 2 sleeps. The ones that do, you buy intentionally, and usually at a better price because you gave yourself time. This habit doesn't remove enjoyment. It protects surplus, and surplus is what builds wealth on a salary. With the 48-hour filter, the best part is that it changes your self-image. You stop being the person who tries to budget. You become the person who pauses, and that pause is the whole point. It's not about never buying things. It's about making sure your future doesn't get outvoted by a tired version of you at 9:30 p.m. Buffett says risks doesn't come from markets. It comes from not knowing what you're doing. Most financial stress isn't caused by bold decisions. It's caused by defaults nobody ever questioned. Rule 5. The enough number. Most people don't know what enough looks like, so they default to comparison. such as someone else's kitchen, someone else's holiday, or their lifestyle. A moving target is expensive. The enough number is your personal finish line. It's the amount of invested wealth that supports the life you actually want, not the one you're shown. When you know your number, decisions get simpler. You stop buying status, you start buying freedom. And you stop doing random financial tasks and calling it progress. On the enough number, you don't need a perfect calculation, you just need a direction. What does a calm life cost you per year? What would it cost if you weren't working full time? When you have even a rough number, you stop treating wealth like a vibe and start treating it like a target. This is why Buffett has lived in the same house in Omaha since 1958. He knows his number. That alone reduces comparison spending because you can finally say, that's not for me, it's not on my path. Rule 6. Boring banking optimization. This is the rule nobody enjoys, which is why it works. Old mobile plans, insurance renewals, saving accounts paying nothing. Individually, they're small, but collectively, they're expensive. Every 6 months, you audit recurring payments. You switch where it matters. You cancel what you don't use. You renegotiate what you've ignored. This isn't depriving yourself, it's admin. And admin is what wealthy people quietly do on a Tuesday because they understand that saving £20 a month isn't small if you redirect it automatically for the next 10 years. And on boring banking optimization, this is where PAYE workers quietly get fleeced. Price rises on broadband and mobile, insurance renewal creep, subscriptions that survive because cancelling is annoying. You don't need to become a bargain hunter. You just need to stop paying the lazy tax. Set a calendar reminder twice a year. Do 1 hour of cleanup and route the savings into Rule 1 automatically. That's how small savings turn into real capital. Buffett's most famous advice is simple. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Most people think that it's about picking stocks. It isn't. Paying £25 for a mobile contract that you could get for £10 is losing money. It is a guaranteed negative return on your cash every single month. Buffett wouldn't tolerate that kind of waste in a business. You shouldn't tolerate it in your life. Here's where people go wrong. They hear 6 rules and they think they need to fix everything. You don't. Wealth isn't built by intensity. It's built by consistency. Pick one rule, apply it this week. Let momentum do the rest. Because building wealth on a salary is boring. And that's why almost nobody sticks with it long enough. Before you go, there's one more piece of this puzzle most UK workers completely misunderstand. Debt. Specifically, why trying to avoid it at all costs often does the opposite of what people expect. The next video can help you. It's called Why Avoiding Debt Keeps UK Workers Broke. It's linked on the screen here. I'll see you in that video.